What do you do with hot dogs besides boiling them or broiling them?
Ever try rolling them?
What?
With Weiner Wrap from Pillsbury.
He seems to have a serious weed up his ass.
The Morning Stream. This car smells weird.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. I'm Scott. That's Brian. Good morning, Brian.
Hello, Scott.
Good morning to you.
There was really a thing called Pillsbury Weiner Wrap?
Yep. You could buy them. I remember my mom making these. It was basically pig in a blanket, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that with the unroll, the pop, when you pop the canister open and you've got the...
Poppin' Fresh? Was that what it was called?
Poppin' Fresh, yeah. But it's the little squares that make. Oh my God, why can I not remember croissants? And you just wrap the wiener in a croissant and then bake it.
Yeah, I think
crescent rolls.
Crescent rolls, yeah. I think they were honestly, they were probably just like, hey, we could brand this and call it Weiner Wraps.
I know. Yeah, I'm just visualizing the kid working at the grocery store, opens up the box to stock the shelves, stock the refrigeration section with the Pillsbury items, pulls one of these out, puts it back in the box, closes it back up, seals it back up with tape, throws his apron on the ground, and just leaves the store.
Yep. Yeah, I can see it too.
I'm done. No more for me things.
Of those kinds of things growing up, do you have one that your mom would put together for you that you really like and remember? Like a, quick snack type food item? Weiner Wraps or something equivalent. Did you ever do that?
We used to do. We used to fry bologna to like get it to where it's all the edges are crispy actually, I guess the whole thing would be crispy, and it would just kind of curl up like a bowl, and then a couple slices of rainbow bread and and a little slice of cheese or something. Maybe not. Yeah,
sure.
That's the one I remember was we didn't have a lot growing up. Single moms, very small apartment.
Sure.
Bologna and cheese sandwiches were kind of a staple in the household in the 70s.
Yeah, I also think there was, I don't know, late 70s, early 80s. Wonder Bread and bologna must have been a booming market. Because it felt like everywhere I went, all my friends had it. Everybody was eating bologna sandwiches every day. Like, it seems like a stereotype, but it was real in the day. I don't think anyone's really buying a lot of bologna now. Maybe they are, and I just don't know it. But
yeah, would you like some bread that's not quite bread and some meat that's not quite meat? I mean, obviously it was meat and bread, but Wonder Bread you look at now and say, oh my God, that's the one of the worst kinds of bread we could have eaten growing up because there's no nutritional value. And then bologna, very far cry from the stuff that you might get in Italy hanging from a butcher's shop ceiling.
Yeah,
drying
for sure. We also had these things. I don't know what we called them meat pies. That's not what they were though. Because a meat pie traditionally, you and I talked about, we like those, right? The turkey
the little hand
pie.
Pies. Right,
yeah, or
you're talking about like the pot pies is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, or anything where it's like, a nice, good little pastry layer, anything like that is good. But we had these things that we called them meat pies, but I swear that's not what they really were. They were these nondescript kind of generic bag of frozen, almost hockey puck circumference, but tall.
Really? Okay.
And then they were all white. I don't know what kind of breading that is. Like dough? I guess just dough.
The dough, yeah, frozen dough on the outside.
And then inside was like a frozen piece of, I think, just like hamburger meat.
Oh, really? Not even like veggies?
No, none of that.
Corn and carrots and peas. And
none of that. It was like freaking Russian gulag food is what it felt like. But my mom would make these.
Stood in line for 4 hours to get a bag of frozen white tall hockey pucks.
Pretty much. She'd cook them, she'd bake them, you'd take them out, and then, again, I don't feel like they had a name brand on them. They felt very generic. And they may have literally been generic, because remember all the white generic stuff we had growing up?
Totally did.
That was like a big thing for a hot minute.
Yep.
But anyway, she'd make these things, and then part of it was you'd put them in a bowl, and then you'd pour au jus on it, like beef broth. And then you'd eat that. That was the thing to eat. And we loved them. We freaking loved these things. I know that they were barely good for you to eat. They were just like barely food. But if anyone out there, I've never been able to find these since. And I would love to find... if there's a way to buy them now, I would get some because that's a childhood thing. This is the thing
that, like, you'd come home from school, you'd pop those in the oven for half an hour while you start watching syndicated Andy Griffith and Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah, totally cartoon. Like I remember having 2 of those while I watched like GI Joe. GI Joe reruns is what I would watch. Yeah. So by the time they're doing their PSA in the middle, I'm cracking into the second one, and I really thought those were good. Oz says he has some, but are they what I'm thinking, Oz? Can you take pictures of that and then send those to me? Because
pictures or it didn't happen, Oz.
Yeah. I just can't imagine those are still a thing you can buy, but maybe you can. Oh, Pirate O's?
They have them at Pirate O's.
Oh, I love Pirate O's. That's a place up not far from me. It sounds like cereal.
Okay.
It isn't.
It does. I have no idea what Pirate O's. Yeah, okay.
I think I talked about it once. It was I think maybe KT Data. I can't remember who I talked to, but it's this place that has a lot of. Oh yeah, the guy. Remember the story I told you where the guy who is on break and their break room table is exactly adjacent to the public restroom inside Pirate O's.
Okay,
and I had to poo in there.
Familiar.
I had to poo in there, and I was like all worried that this poor kid on a break was just gonna get my wind when I walked out of there, and he did. I mean,
right? Okay. Oh yeah.
That's the place. Yeah. It's awesome, actually. That store is so cool. Like weird, exotic stuff you can't find anywhere else. That's a place to find stuff.
Worst website ever, Batman.
Oh,
my
it's
gosh.
terrible. It's really bad. The website sucks. They're not known for that.
Like
always packed.
They break every web convention. Like the page opens to what's called their homepage, which is the 5th item in their menu, which is on the top of their map.
Yep. It's not good. I doubt it adheres to any modern web standards. It's just garbage. Don't go to their website. However, the store is rad. If you're in town, it's really good. My only complaint is they have a gravel road. It's really weird because it's not out in the middle of nowhere. It's off a main street, but for some reason their driveway to their parking lot they've decided to make gravel, and it's not grippy gravel. You're always sliding in it. People are spinning out in it. The snow's hard to remove in the winter. I don't know what they're doing over there, but the place is great once you get in there. It's packed. They make these amazing sandwiches. Their coffee's supposed to be insane. Never had it, but anyway.
It looks like, along the lines, and tell me if I'm wrong, but like Sprouts, Whole Foods kind of
sorta,
similar?
Except more like, here's a whole section of Peruvian hot sauces you'll find nowhere else but Peru. Or here's a section of strange candies that only the British know about, or things like that.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm looking at, they have a virtual, one of the things they do on their site that's not too bad is the virtual tour. And I'm like going through the store. Seriously, what I'm trying to do is find the bathroom next to the table.
Oh, that'd be great. See if we can find it. I can show you exactly where I was sitting, or where that guy was sitting when I came out and wafted him with my poo air.
Yeah, I wonder if they've got, if the bathroom is if you can find the bathroom on their virtual tour. They maybe said, we're not going to include this part in the virtual tour.
Oh, you're so right about the site. Gosh, dang it, it's an eyesore.
It is. Yeah. Look at that virtual tour and see if you can navigate your way to the
all right,
to the tourlet.
This is the
but I
right
see what
location.
you mean. Like I'm going close up to one of the what am I looking at here? It's like a wall of items that are like spatulas, Q-tips, and Belgian chocolates. It looks like, or something like that.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. Very strange. I shouldn't say strange, but just stuff you don't find in a grocery store.
Yeah.
They
More
don't
home goods kind of stuff here.
Yeah, and they don't really do like produce, I don't think. They have some cold and frozen things and stuff like that. But okay, so this image I'm showing you here, Brian, that they don't go in there. That's the entryway. It says Zombie Crossing or something on that little sign.
Yeah.
But you go in there and down, and there's a bathroom down there.
That's great.
They don't show it though. But I pooped in there, and that guy did not look happy. He was having lunch out there, just like 2 feet from the door. It's like, you poor guy. I'm so sorry. Felt bad for him.
No kidding.
Anyway,
God, it's so weird. Their menu item, or their menus. It's like it's scrolling you through a tall page, right? Like a tall landing page, which is all the rage now.
Yeah.
But you can't scroll yourself through it. So if you click gift baskets, it goes up to the top of the thing. This has to be like Wix or Squarespace or something. Then they've got like a list of their sandwiches look really good.
They are very good. Their sandwiches are killer. We just got a photo from Oz. We might know what these things are now.
Oh, good. Okay.
These are it!
Is that it? All right.
Oh,
okay.
shit!
All right, I got to share these. I'm just having childhood. I just had a childhood fart. Okay. Check this business out. All right, this is a sideways shot, but those things. Let me turn it around so I can actually see it. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, there we go. So those right there, they're kind of, again, nondescript little dough pies, and inside is this meat. And then I think this plate may show it. I can't tell if it's just the plate coloring, but you pour au jus over it or whatever.
Like soaking in au jus.
And they are so freaking good. And he's got a brand here.
Drippings with jus.
Is this Camel Toe? No, sorry, Cameron's. Cameron's Meat Pies, tried and true family recipe. These are it. I didn't know they ever had a brand. The ones we got were in a bag.
So, ground beef and Scottish style seasonings baked into a thin, crisp pie shell. So yeah, like you're saying, just ground beef in a pastry shell.
Yep, that's it.
Those look a lot better than what I was thinking, because you were saying, like back then, you were getting them 12 to just a plastic bag that you shove in the.
Yeah, we got them in a
freezer.
Big bulk bag you put in the freezer, exactly, just like that.
No brand. Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe those don't exist anymore. But this version, I'm gonna get me some. I loved these, and they were, they were there because they were cheap. This is right around the time things were a little tight with the family, so we ate a lot of these because you could buy them in bulk. A lot of frozen burritos as well, just the white, basic, cheese ones.
Yeah.
Childhood. It goes so fast.
Good stuff.
Brian, we heard from Dr. Tolbert.
Yay! I love it when he calls in, especially I guess he has his own really quality microphone and all that he doesn't need. He doesn't need to use our great voicecast.app/
Actually, he does.
TMS.
That's all he used here.
He does. He did use it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he used it here, and then I guess in previous months where he would call, he recorded on his phone and then sent me a file. So kind of the same idea, I guess. But it's always with his phone, and this one is through that system. By the way, glad you brought it up. Voicecast.app/TMS if you want to send us a message. Let's hear what the good doctor says about putting you to sleep during a colonoscopy.
Good morning, gents. Your friendly neighborhood family doc swinging by to answer some of the questions from yesterday's show. First, contrary to popular belief, most of us medical professionals are human beings like everyone else. So we tolerate or don't tolerate blood and guts and other fun stuff like that, the same as the general population. Personally, I don't have many things that cause me to feel squeamish or queasy, but I had a classmate in medical school that passed out at the first sight of blood. She eventually became a surgeon, so you can overcome that kind of squeamishness, but it's not the first instinct. Our blood is meant to be inside our bodies, and so we want it to stay there. Second, endoscopy is the generic term for any scope that goes inside the tubes of your body. The full name of an upper scope procedure is an esophagogastroduodenoscopy, but we call it an EGD for short because that's a lot easier to say. Colonoscopy is another subset of endoscopy, but so are non-gastrointestinal scopes like cystoscopy, which is scoping the bladder, or hysteroscopy, which is endoscopy of the uterus. And finally, the drug that they gave you was likely called propofol, and it is a very fast-acting and very quickly leaving medication, which is why you felt like you recovered a lot faster this time around. The other option is usually a combination of two drugs called midazolam and fentanyl, and these may take a lot longer to reverse since the first is a cousin of medications like Valium or Xanax, and the second is fentanyl. All that being said, I'm glad the procedure went well and that they don't have to do it again for a few years, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to page me.
Yeah. So it is
Okay.
Now I still don't remember it.
Propanol.
Propanol? Is that what he said?
Propanol. I think that's what he said.
Whatever it was. That was the stuff, and it was a quick in, quick out, like immediate, pretty much. And that's what you want. I would highly recommend that choice if you're not allergic to it or something. I don't know what everyone's deal is, but if you can do the quick thing, that'd be great. And tell your doctor not to start on the work before it's been injected. All right, that was the big lesson.
That's right. Basically, if you ask me, can I start, and I say not yet, then you better not start.
Yeah.
But if you ask me if you can start and you don't hear back from me, go for it.
Or check with the guy who injected it and say, is it in? And then he would say, yes, doctor, it's in. Then go. Like he hadn't even squirted it in before Dr. Butthole started working in there. It was like, come on, man.
Right.
That really irritated me in a very real way. All right. Lori would like a word. I love how she spells her name. This was in the actual message. Lorri. 2 R's. That's cool. I like that. It just sounds science fiction-y or something. I like it. Anyway, Lori. She says 2 things. Western North Carolina gets snow. We actually have ski areas. Second is Vinegars have a mother/Scobie. I don't know what that is. What was that?
So remember we were talking about kombucha and the mother ball, the SCOBY that sits in there, like the self-contained organism of bacteria. No, I can't remember. It was a SCOBY was like an anagram or a acronym of what this thing is.
Oh, because we were talking about the chunks and how we didn't like it.
The big chunk, right? And basically, Vinegar has that too. So yeah, I've seen this. I've gone to a fish and chips place where there was a SCOBY floating in the vinegar that you dump on your fish and chips.
Foul.
And I said, nope, give me one from another table. Or I think I just grabbed one from another table. I'm not using this one.
Did you assume that chunk was like something foreign or gross or whatever?
I did. Yeah. I did. I assumed that somebody as a joke dropped a let's say snot instead. I'm not going to say anything further than that. But they dropped something in that deal, and nope, that's somebody's joke of vinegar. I want a clean bottle.
Yeah, somebody did a farmer blow in there, just covered one nostril and went flank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have felt the same. I didn't know this at all. So if I've got vinegar upstairs, is there a glob at the bottom that's feeding the whole thing? Is that the deal?
Probably not. I think maybe if you have a bottle of vinegar that's like 15 or 20 years old, maybe.
Oh, it accumulates.
Because I feel like doesn't it develop over a long time?
Well, see that I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Everyone, check your Scobies. See what's going on.
Right. Yeah. Check your Scobies. Go check your.
That's what they tell you. Vinegar. They say get your colonoscopy, get your physical, and check your SCOBY.
Right?
Yep.
Check your Scobies.
Yep. Nobody's SCOBY is whatever. But so it's mother or SCOBY. So the mother, they call it a mother as an alternate term. That's interesting. Right. I assume that just means because it's
the thing that creates the bacteria and the rest of it.
Okay.
Like it's all
right.
It's the Metroid mother brain is what it looks like. Yes.
Okay, cool. So my phone is the mother of my pocket because phones are gross and right?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Think of the most bacterial-ridden thing you've got. It's the mother.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be, and it is the phone. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Someone in the chat asked how my mom was doing. All this talk about what she used to make.
I was thinking when I was getting coffee, I was like, I got to make sure to ask Scott how his mom's doing.
Doing pretty good. She's she's in the thick of the physical therapy stuff. Every day's a bit of a push and a challenge and all that. But overall, not too bad. I think what helps my mom, she's very social, and so everybody constantly visiting. We're going over there 2-3 times before Saturday. Which is no small feat. It's like, it's an hour to drive, an hour back. So we have to kind of schedule around stuff to make it happen. But we're keeping that up. And my cousin, Caroline, who's also a nurse, came in for a couple of days. And they were really close growing up, or when Caroline was growing up with her Aunt Donna, who's my mom. So there's a lot of that going on, which is really, that motivates her. Right. So
good. Okay.
Having people around that are constantly bringing her stuff, talking to her, whatever is working out real well. So she's good. That's the update. She's doing, it's still hard, still uphill, still all that stuff. She's not walking on her own or any of that yet, but it's, it's going to be a bit of a
It takes
challenge.
time. Yeah.
I mean, 86 is no small number.
No, it's, you don't bounce back from that stuff as quickly for sure.
No, I look forward to it.
Don't we both?
Don't we all, really? All right. One other thing, an anonymous text about the nipple talk we had. Today it's all childhood food, nipples, and colonoscopies.
Yeah.
They're all connected.
And floating things in the vinegar.
Yeah,
right.
and your mother SCOBY. This is what this anonymous thing says. It says, listening to the nipple talk on Monday's TMS. It'd be last Monday.
Yeah.
I don't remember just being... I guess we mentioned a third nipple, extra nipples.
We were talking about, because I talked about how Harry Styles has 4 nipples and Tilda Swinton has 3. And
that's right. Yeah. That's where the whole thing came from. And we were trying to figure out if anybody here or anyone we knew had it or whatever. But,
right. Yeah.
So this guy says, and thought it would be a good time to say that due to an unfortunate incident with a horsefly, I have 1.5 nipples. I still get quite nervous around them. Is a horsefly big enough to take off half your nipple?
How do you say something like that and not give us any more information?
Horseflies are big. Okay, I've seen them. I've been bitten by a horsefly.
When it flew off with half of one of this person's nipples.
Yeah, that seems crazy. That seems crazy.
It still gets nervous around nipples. Yes. That's true. Maybe that's what he meant. Yes, or she meant.
Yeah. Nipples make him nervous.
An unfortunate incident with a horsefly. What? Oh, what's the unfortunate incident? Oh my God!
Half a nipple's the implication here. Removed because of a horsefly. Now, did that happen because bite, infection, removal, or bite, removal? Did it fly off with it? Did it hang there? Like, how big was this horse? Was this horsefly as big as a frickin' horse?
Yeah.
Because I could see a horse. I could see an actual horse ripping your nipple off.
An unfortunate incident with a horse. I have 1.5 nipples. Oh, no further information needs to be given. That sounds horrible, and let's move on. But with a horse fly, probably infection or bite or something where it's like, man,
I wouldn't put it past a horse.
I hate horse flies, by the way.
No, they're terrible. They're horrible.
Biting bull crap.
They are pieces of shit.
They are
flying pieces of shit, horseflies. And look, you're gonna find them for Brian and I. If we go up in the mountains, you're gonna find horseflies. Yeah. And when you do,
we don't find horses, but we'll find horseflies.
Exactly. I'm not even sure they call them that. I assume that there's some reason they hang around horses, or I don't know. I don't know why they call them horseflies. Sure. I think it's because they're so damn big.
As big as a horse.
And horses are kind of obstinate dicks sometimes.
Other flies ride them is why they're called horseflies.
Other flies tame them?
They tame them, put reins on them, have races with them.
Yeah, they call themselves horsefly whisperers in their little world.
Right, exactly.
But they only do it for a day because horses or flies only live for a day, is my understanding. I don't know. Is that still true? I was always under the impression that flies only lasted 24 hours.
Mayflies only live 24 hours, I think, is the deal. Yeah,
I think the regular ones go a little longer.
Maybe houseflies might live longer. I don't know.
It does feel like when one gets in the house, it's there a lot longer than
not in this house.
Well, you're quick with the slap, are you?
Yeah, 28 days lifespan of a housefly.
Oh, well, I had that wrong. All right. I did a comic years ago.
Let's see, lifespan of a mayfly. Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, I did a comic years ago where there's a sandwich, and there's an old fly, like an old man fly, and a little tiny baby fly, a little kid fly on a piece of bread. And the old man fly says, "I remember when I was your age at 10 a.m. this morning." And the joke was that they live and die in the same day. But I didn't realize that they live for 30 days or so. That's crazy. All right.
Back in the day when I was part of this little indie zine group that was making this comic called Acme Comics, drawing and creating little short stories, anthology, quarterly comic thing called Acme Comics. One of the guys came up with a one-pager of a couple flies sitting on a piece of shit, and they're like sitting there, and one of them lets out a fart, and the other one goes, "Do you mind? I'm eating here."
It's good. It's good. I'm a fan of the fly the idea that flies are having this whole life and this whole thing, and they love poop, and so you can just do comics and jokes around. I love it. It's fertile ground, as they say.
Totally, absolutely.
All right, another place we find fertile ground is in the area of Brian Dunaway.
Tadpooly feud.
That's right. We're going to play a game. We're going to bring Brian in. One of you will be our fourth caller. Who will it be? Well, call me on Discord, or not call me. I won't answer those, but send me a DM on Discord, and I'll add you to the call if you are indeed that number caller. The only way you'll know is if you try, and sometimes you miss out. It's okay if you're fifth or third. There's always next time. But today I'm taking the fourth. Here we go. Hey, Brian Dunaway, what are you doing?
No, it's Scott and Brian. Just enjoying this nice warm weather we have down here in the southern part of the United States.
Nice. What's your current warm right now? Is it
like 70s, around 70 degrees? That's Fahrenheit for those who live in the rest of the world.
Oh, it's pretty good.
We're not boiling in Celsius,
no. Okay, we have a fourth caller, but I'm terrified about who this is.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think Brian knows.
Does people need to turn their volume down?
They might, or I'll turn this person's volume down. Oh, you know what? Wait. 1, 2, 3. No, I apologize. This is not who it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to. There's probably a few people that might think that was them. This is actually, I think, new. Let's see. Josh 3.0. Do we know Josh 3.0?
Oh, Josh 3.0. Josh 3.0 is isn't that Mr. Raven CTG or no? That's a different Josh, right?
Josh?
No, this is me.
This is you. Okay.
This is Mr. Raven CTG.
Okay. I was only familiar with Josh 1 and 2.0, and 2.5 is all right.
Or she is Mrs. Josh. We'll call you guys by the other person's name.
Yeah.
Is what we'll do.
Yeah, we don't discriminate.
Either way is fine.
It's good to have you here. How the heck are you? You doing good?
Oh yeah, we just got done with a huge fulfillment over here, so
well, good.
Starting to wind down a little bit.
Take a deep breath. Yeah.
On behalf of Scott and I, can we just tell you how much we appreciate the games you guys send us every once in a while?
Oh, I love them. Love them.
Yeah, that 80s influenced one that's from the artist who did Dice Masters. I can't remember the name of it. Neon
Rain.
Yeah,
Neon Rain.
it's so
Love
cool.
That.
So cool.
And it's great single player. It's great.
Yep.
So
I love a good single player game because no one wants to play with me, so it's great.
that's right. Exactly.
Well, it's good to have you here. It was almost Claire today, by the way. So if anyone wants to know who the fourth I thought was, but I counted wrong. She was actually fifth. So Josh, congratulations and welcome to this part of the show. Well, Brian Ibbett will now explain what you could win and what me and Brian have to do to help that happen.
Exactly. May the fourth be with you next time, Claire. It's time to play the Tadpooly feud. I've surveyed the Tadpool on some nerdy topics, and, well, Scott and Brian are just going to have to sit there and predict the answers that they gave us. It's their job to see how many of those answers they can guess. Now, Josh 3.0, your job is more important than ever because you're going to be working with either Scott or Brian, and if your team wins, you get a prize package that includes Call of Juarez and Chroma Squad. Both courtesy of
both of those are good.
King Kimazabi.
Those are not terrible games. They're both great, actually.
I like the Call Wars Gunslinger thing is pretty good too.
Yeah,
I like those.
It's like good. 20. It's a little older now, but it holds up. That game's freaking rad. Yeah, if you like I don't know, shooters and westerns, it's like this great high octane first person shooter thing. Yeah, that's you. I mean, you and I both like these kind of games. So these would be fine additions to your library there, Josh. I'm excited for you.
Very cool.
Yeah. Great. Well, let's get to it. See what we got.
All right. Let's get in here and go ahead and put your hands upon your buzzards and get ready to answer this one. We asked 436 Tadpoolers, name a TV series that you think more than 90% of the Tadpool has seen in its entirety.
No. I had it with
Firefly.
Show me Firefly.
Oh, wow.
It helps. It's a perfect one for this, right? Because it's only 12 episodes.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Or however many it is, 10, 11, 9, however many.
Yeah.
And everybody in the Tadpool has probably seen it. So
yeah, it's big time nerd fodder, and it's short, so it seems like the good answer.
Yep.
All right, Josh.
That means you've got control of the board. No answers can beat it. So you've got Josh, and let's get into this business.
All right. The goal is to crush Brian Dunaway here today. That's the goal.
Hey.
Wow.
Rude.
You know, you give him a taste of victory a little bit yesterday, and he just can't.
No.
He can't stop.
No, it's just going to keep going.
Friendly competition.
Josh, do you have a favorite or a thing that you think people may have all?
Got to be Lost.
Oh, yeah. Lost is good. I like Lost.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We have to go back. All right. Show me that. That's my Jack impersonation. It's Jack saying we have to go back.
Pretty
He's
good.
saying that. Yeah. All right. Let's go here. Show me Lost. Number 8. Good
that's
points on
good.
that one.
Yeah. That'll give us
Taking
9
Scott
points.
and Josh up to 9 points on that one.
All right. I'm going to add this one. This is going to lean fantasy sci-fi. I think Game of Thrones is a safe one. Let's go. Let's go Game of the Thrones there.
Okay. Show me Game of the Thrones. Yep. Number 2 answer on the board, taking you guys up to 11. You know, maybe people haven't seen House of... What's the
Dragon.
House of the Dragon, yeah. Which is really good. It's a really good show.
Oh, I love House of the Dragon. Huge fan. Did you... Well, I don't know if you can tell us. You didn't combine those, did you? Or can you tell us?
I'll just feel very safe in telling you that not one person said House of the Dragon in this poll.
Okay. They were all
I feel like that's not really much help. So
no, which is a shame because that show's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, over to you. What do you think?
Another one for me, I guess, which I hope everybody's watched all of, Futurama.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
Big fan. And that one's also not like. See, I wouldn't say this Simpsons.
Yeah, it's not too long.
You say Simpsons and you run the risk, although that's the tadpole, so who knows? But I think Futurama's a way safer bet, so let's say that. I like it.
It's a much more manageable size of number of shows for sure. All right, show me Futurama.
Yeah.
Number 7, taking you guys up to 18.
Oh, Dunaway, we're routing you here so far. You like getting routed?
call me the router.
Yep.
Do you like gladiator movies?
Let's see.
It's 6 answers still on the board.
Okay, so I'm nervous to veer too. I feel like these are big point possibilities, but I want to say Breaking Bad. It just feels like something everybody's seen.
That would have been my next one too.
Yeah, let's go with the breaking of the bads and see what happens.
Sure. All right. Show me I'm the one who knocks.
Oh wow.
Number 3. Yep.
Jeez.
Very popular, 35. But notice that big jump, by the way, from one Firefly, number 1, 128 people. The next one, Game of Thrones, 37.
Yeah.
So like that.
Well, that's because the single season of Firefly is pretty easy to consume,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, you can do that in a weekend easily. Yes.
If Dunaway had his way, this would Simon and Simon would be on here, but we're not.
Yeah.
If I had my way, it'd be
little orange robot.
Love Boat and Fantasy Island would be.
All right. What do we got now? This is getting tricky.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Office.
Oh shit! Of course. Yeah, I wasn't even
good
thinking comedies are like obviously Futurama's a comedy, but yeah,
Raven and I watch that like once a year at least.
Do you really do like a binge through the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do during this when Michael Scott leaves? Do you hang in there?
I think that there's still some really good stuff in there. I think what's his face from
Robert California.
Robert California.
Yeah,
I think is great.
That was good.
James,
there's a lot of really great stuff in there. I don't know. I just missed Carell.
The British woman who was a companion, a doctor companion for a while, was really good.
Yeah. Wasn't Idris Elba in there for a while? Did a couple episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. I need to get in there. The only anxiety I have about The Office is the episode where he dumps the chili. That's really hard for me.
It is the best. It's the most awkward, sad, and
really hard to watch. All right, let's do it. The Office. Sure. I like it.
Show me The Office.
Oh,
11, which means you get no points, but you do get another guess.
Oh, my Lord. I mean, people of a certain generation, MASH should be on here, and I don't know how likely that is, but let's try it. Let's try MASH.
Sure.
Let's do MASH, Brian.
All right. Show me Choppers. If it makes you feel any better, number 12.
Oh shit! It actually kind of does make me feel better.
Barely out of the top 11. So that's all right. This means Brian gets a chance to play finally.
Yeah.
You're down by 21 points, Brian. What have you got? You finally get to give a guess. You didn't even get to like buzz in and guess earlier. So
I feel like some of them could be really sticking points. Like I could go Star Trek The Next Generation, and it's like
but it's all a Star Trek series, not just a...
but it's really kind of a standalone series, each one of them. So
sure. And then you're gonna have some that got watched more than others, right? Like you're more likely to find TNG people than you are Voyager people or Enterprise people.
Or Enterprise people.
Yeah, definitely Enterprise people. Those people, who the hell are they even?
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm just to unlock the box that may be some of the answers going forward. I'm going to go ahead and say TNGs.
All right. Show me Star Trek The Next Generation. Number 4, and it is specifically Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, yeah. That may say something. Interesting.
And I can't believe that the Tadpooly. And now I'm thinking maybe Scott said it, but he didn't. He didn't say Seinfeld, did he? I can't remember.
He didn't. I'll tell you. I didn't. Yeah. I would.
I think it was. I think it's a consumable sitcom. So I'm gonna say of the Seinfeld.
It's on at least once a day in my house. At
It
least.
is, yeah, and it's on. I think there's even a Seinfeld streaming channel. TBS, I think, might be Seinfeld. All Seinfeld all the time now.
Yeah.
All right, show me Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Number 5, we got ourselves a rally. Brian's got 9 points to Scott and Josh's 21, but he's making his way down the board.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Now I'm not positive. Now I'm feeling a little shaky. I didn't expect that to actually be up there. How about give me the only thing that's coming to mind is Quantum Leap because I've been watching it.
Have you really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Brian's a big Quantum Leap fan. Or the two Brians.
I like the Leap.
Yeah.
I like the Leap. I do like occasionally. I like to go back and watch Quantum Leap and Sliders. I don't know why.
I love
They're both
Sliders.
Not great shows.
Sliders is great, but bad, but great. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But then I also want to say Doctor Who for some smartasses out there, but I know that's probably not right. So I'm gonna go.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Quantum Leap just because I've been watching it.
Sure. Oh boy, show me Quantum Leap. No, it's surprising, and maybe it's because there was the newer seasons of Quantum Leap.
I didn't think about that
because that not even a mention in the Tadpooly.
I didn't watch any of the new ones. So
there you go. There is a thing. Are you going to as part of your binge?
I have not considered it, but maybe so. Maybe so now.
I would say at least maybe the first season and just see what you think. But,
okay.
Yeah.
What'd they end up doing too before they bailed, or did they bail yet? I think they bailed.
Oh, they might have done. I don't know if it's been renewed. I'm going to take a look really quick.
Thought I read something. That
I think we would have had another season if they were going to. We would have had a third season if it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yep. NBC canceled after 2 seasons. So.
Okay. Wonder how that ends. Hopefully good.
They did. Oh, you know what? I remember watching the finale, and they did wrap things. So what am I saying? Of course it got. They did manage to.
They only wanted to. They only planned for 2 seasons. What you're saying, or they just did a good job?
I'm thinking that they.
They knew the writing was on the wall, and they were like,
"Yes." I'm thinking that they knew ahead of time and scrambled together a finale.
Yeah, I could see that. That happens a lot.
Yes, but it was a satisfying end now that I think about it. So,
all right, let's give my wife and daughters a swing here and say that Friends probably on this list.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Josh? Do you think Josh? That's good, Josh, or no?
Yeah.
It feels right? Maybe, I don't know. You hear a lot of people in the chat get all mad when we don't talk about Friends, or sometimes it's just, I don't know. And then it's just the live people, so who knows if this is everybody who voted, but let's do it. Let's get Friends out of here.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Show me Friends.
How many of us have them? Let's be friends.
That's exactly the order it should be. Seinfeld, then Friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Must see TV, baby.
Although Futurama.
8 answers claimed on the board, including our bonus. So 2 answers left. Scott and Josh are leading 27-9. Still a possibility for Brian to oh, is it? Yes, he could come out with 28 if Scott whiffs, but then of course.
Ooh, I'm on your heels,
so Josh,
baby.
you've won either way. You've guaranteed to win either way. Yeah.
Chips. Just kidding.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sure.
What about X-Files?
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that feels like that's a notable one. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go X-Files. We might get an X for our X-Files. Let's see how this goes.
Experts.
Show me a big red X-Files.
Shit.
Oh,
I'm surprised,
actually. Number 13. So, MASH was number 12, X-Files at number 13. So there's method to your madness.
I don't think we've ever hovered around these answers so closely before, like in the zone.
No, I don't think you have. This is the first time I remember you guys if you get 9 and 10, you will have said the top 13 answers on the board.
Yeah, that's wild. We rarely do that.
Yep.
All right, Dunaway. Baton in your hand, sir.
Low-hanging fruit for those who trying to watch a sci-fi series and want to complete it. Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, yeah. BSG, baby.
Yeah, every time that series launches, it's like, we're going to do a 10-year run. No, we ain't.
We're going to do 7.
Fair enough.
Or whatever they did.
All right.
All right.
Show me Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, that should be
number 17 in the list.
That should have
People
been on
still
there.
said it, but, yeah.
You got a point in my heart.
Again, I've watched obviously the entirety of the 2005 reboot, but I wouldn't say none, but did not watch the first like all the original series episodes.
Yeah.
Did you see? You saw the mini series that spawned the new series, right? Back in 04,
yeah.
03,
yeah, that's
whatever
right.
it was.
The one that was before. Yeah, the actual
I guess
series.
it's all part of this.
It feels like that was pilot, or was it not? There was a separate.
It was
deal?
separate and wasn't meant to. They weren't going to go on unless it succeeded, and then it did well. So something like that. Oh, it looks like so that was 03, 04.
Oh, the series started in earnest in 04.
04, October of 04. Yeah.
What was the one that just had Michelle Forbes spin-off? Well, that was just a movie, right? The
I don't remember.
Because it was the name of her ship.
The little one-off. We're not talking about Caprica, but the other little one-off 2-hour thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was just
I can't remember.
Michelle Forbes thing.
I remember liking it. I remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
I like all this shit. Okay,
All right.
so
2 answers still on the board, Josh and Scott. It is up to you.
We could go. I don't know, Star Wars makes me nervous.
And we're playing with house money at this point, so.
You
That's
really
true.
are. You totally are.
True.
You've won the game, yeah. So
That's a really good point.
The Sopranos is another one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that.
I watched my
Drama.
4th watch through last year. I love that show. So let's do it. Sopranos.
All right. Show me. Woke up this morning. Got myself a gun. Got myself 3 strikes.
Girl.
Sopranos, another one. Not even on the list. Not even in the.
I'm surprised by that. Everybody's
totally
seen
surprises me because it was such a, such a monumental series, and
it. Might be the best series of all time. Drama, anyway.
So, Brian, you've got 2 answers left on the board. You've got 1 strike, so don't get a strike. Get some guesses here, and maybe sweep the board and take the win, but still get Josh the games.
Sweep the leg.
Gotcha. I'm gonna have to go just because it's something I've been meaning to watch again. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Especially with Michelle Trachtenberg recently passing.
Yeah.
Alice Corwin to do this too, so I'm gonna say Buffy just because I want to.
Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to push that. Yeah, no, that's great. Let's do it. I was trying to find sweep the leg, but I couldn't find sweep the leg. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Show me Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the win. Or for the loss.
Yeah.
3rd strike. That's a game. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was on the list, tied for 29. Only one person actually gave the answer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's look at these last 2 missing titles. Number 9. It looked like for a while you guys were going to go down the Star Trek route. Yeah, original series made the cut.
Yeah.
And then finally the Star Wars series, the most popular.
Shit, I almost did it. Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian. Yep.
Yeah.
I almost suggested this.
Makes
I don't know.
sense.
I felt like Star Wars was going to get the shaft here, but it's good to see it.
The Shatner.
Yeah.
Just continuing down the list, Community, Stranger Things, WandaVision, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Doctor Who was number 19. You were talking about that one. That's a lot of episodes to watch, to commit to. Ted Lasso, Andor, Baywatch, really?
What?
Big Bang Theory, Bob's Burgers, Cheers, Frasier, Stargate, Twin Peaks, and then the first alphabetically of our answers that just have one person submitting them, the A-Team.
Perfect. Although, I don't know. I like the A-Team a lot. So does Dunaway. I think we give it an honorary nod. Thank you for that reference.
More for you. You can have my share.
Well, that's really good news, because what it means now is this.
Congratulations.
Brian, what did Josh 3.0 win?
Josh wins Call of Juarez and Chroma Squad. Again, thanks to King Kimazabi for sending us these games.
Man, think of it this way. Josh is so just sick of looking at board games and physical stuff. Now he's got a couple of new digital things to look at.
Play something digital for a while. Maybe there's good stuff in digital. Jeez.
Yeah. And also, I think you can up your version to be 3.5 after this. Josh, 3.5, everybody.
Oh, nice.
Release candidate, 3.5. I like that a lot.
That's right.
Josh, anything you want to say about your massive win today?
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Oh, they're all a bunch of jerks. The Academy,
They really
big
are,
jerks.
yeah.
Say hi to your significant other who is awesome, and so are you. Have a fantastic time, and we'll see you soon. Hey, Dunaway.
Oh, hey, Scott.
This week, you and I together at last.
Yeah. Finally.
No, we're doing another episode of the Play Retro
Show, where we talk about old video games.
Like Zaxxon.
Oh, we're gonna get our Zaxxon on this week. Heading back to the arcade. Maybe gonna look at some of those crappy ports, like the one from the Atari 2600. But hey, the arcade game was good at least, right?
Yeah, Zaxxon was awesome. Pseudo 3D. It was like kind of blowing our minds back then. It was really cool. So.
Yeah, it hit a lot of firsts. Was the first arcade game that had a commercial, so we finally have a good commercial to play at the top of the show. That's going to be good.
Yeah, no, it was very kind of rare back then, so it was actually nice to get something like that.
Super rare. It was the first one, according to some sources.
Yeah, someone on the internet thinks it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll be 1:30 Mountain Time Friday if you want to watch us live, or just get the podcast wherever you want and whenever you want at frogpants.com/playretro or wherever you get your shows. Dunaway, kiss our butts.
No.
Wow.
We got him. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back from this break, we will spend time with Tom Merritt, talk a little tech. After that, Recommentals with Nicole and Randy. More on the way, so stick around. Brian, what's the song we're playing?
Well, we've got, Bob Dylan. We've got Jacob Dylan, his son. What about Mag Dylan? Well, Mag Dylan is a hard rock metalcore band that has absolutely nothing to do with those first two people I mentioned. They've just released their brand new single, which is called Back Through the Door. You're going to hear it in a second. Their album, which is called People Pleaser, you got to wait a while on this one. July 3rd of this year is when you're going to get the rest of the album, but this one will tide you over for sure. And I should say, you can go see these guys as they open for Seven Dust at Peabody's Nightclub in Virginia Beach, Virginia on March 22nd. So go check them out. The band's called Mag Dylan. Here is Back Through the Door.
Them clothes got laundry numbers on them. You remember your number and always wear the ones that has your number. Any man forgets his number, spends the night in the box.
You enjoyed that. You're damned right.
And we're back. Who was that? One more time.
That was Mag Dylan, spelled with two G's, but D-Y-L-A-N, just like Bob and Jacob. Brand new single called Back Through the Door in advance of their upcoming album, People Pleaser, coming out this summer. But enjoy your music from Mag Dylan.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Something to fill your ear holes with until we have another banger middle in the R&D in the back. All right, let's get Tom Merritt all up in it.
Isn't technology wonderful?
It sure is, but it's better when Tom Merritt's here to talk about it. Tom Merritt, welcome back to the program. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm okay. Why won't my monitor go down?
I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Oh, yeah, you got the monitor thing.
Our divider glass is stuck between the front of the limousine and the back. We can't have our privacy.
It's like an episode.
Driver, can you lower this?
It's like an episode of Severance. You're just kind of looking over at me in Severance. Like, hi, I'm Zach Cherry. Oh, there you go. You did it.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
Just needed to knock the speaker off the table.
Was there a can of Pillsbury Weiner Wrap keeping the monitor from lowering the rest of the way down?
Oh.
No, definitely not. Hey, Tom Merritt, it's good to have you here.
Callback, everybody.
That was a call. Yeah, that was a callback. Hey, you're great, and we're happy to have you here. I don't know if we've ever told you that, but you're great. We think you're great.
You are great.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we do.
You guys mean that?
Yeah, we do. Totally mean that. It's so much so that I'm going to
call me from Greenville, Illinois.
From Greenville, Illinois. Whose dad made a soda the same name as the construction company up the road. Anyway, that's the whole thing between Tom and I.
It wasn't a soda.
Oh, what was it? What was it?
Ego is great for your ego. Oh. It was a diet drink in the 70s, actually late 60s.
But it wasn't carbonated or anything. It was just like a
no. It was it tastes like Pedialyte. Really.
That's funny. So his dad invents this drink. He was a food scientist guy, and Tom comes out here for some trip. I don't remember what we were doing. And immediately there's all these signs because we have this big construction company building homes and townhouses called Sago. It's the exact same name. And Tom's like, oh, that's like that drink my dad invented. And I remember at the time going, I'm sorry, what? Can you explain this?
How have we not heard this?
Yeah, it was a really weird moment for us.
The two big diet foods he worked on was Seago diet drink. Look it up. It was like a big diet drink, and Spoon Up, which was like diet pudding.
Ooh,
wow. certainly resting on the greatness of those names.
Yeah. Obviously, two Titanic brands that have lived on
that have endured because of terrific names.
I loved Spoon Up. It was really good. It just tasted like Hunt's, pudding. It was in a little. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say ketchup. For some reason, I don't like
Heinz.
Really, ketchup is just tomato pudding.
Yeah, it's just tomato pudding with a little sugar in it.
That's right.
Well, anyway,
there's already sugar in ketchup. Just add a little more. You got yourself a.
That's right. Well, on that, as we swing from food technology to actual, modern day technology, that's what Tom does every day. Scouring the web and the world for the latest and greatest into tech news and the whatnot. And Daily Tech News Live comes up at 2 p.m. today.
2 a.m. for someone, I suppose.
That's right. What's on docket for today? What are we covering?
So Niantic made two big announcements today. I imagine you might have heard of one of them, which is that they're selling their games division to Scopely. Scopely is owned by a Saudi Arabian company. It makes Monopoly Go, Star Trek Fleet Command, Marvel Strike Force, and it will now also be making Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, Monster Hunter Now, and if you're a Pokemon Go fan, which I know you are, Ibit, they will also be getting Campfire and Wayfarer, the two companion apps.
Oh, wow.
So all of that goes to Scopely.
Yeah. We knew about the buyout, I knew about the buyout, and I knew that
this was coming.
Yeah.
Now it's both boards have approved, and it goes to regulatory approval.
Okay, so it's a done deal. It's no longer. I thought
we knew they were working on this, but now it's official, and they've released a press release, and that. So they expect the transaction to close by the end of the year. Niantic itself is keeping. This is the one thing I couldn't find in the rumors before. It is keeping Ingress and Peridot. So if you are an Ingress player, that will still be part of Niantic, but Niantic is spinning out all of its tech stack into Niantic Spatial. That probably won't mean a lot in your day-to-day life when you're playing Ingress, but it's something to know, because if there's something down the road you're like, wait, what's Niantic Spatial? They've spun out everything they didn't sell to Scopely basically as Niantic Spatial, which is super smart because they work on the visual positioning system and the geospatial models that a lot of people are going to want to use. And in fact, Scopely is going to get a share in Niantic Spatial as a part of this deal. So I assume they will not only continue to use it for Pokemon Go, but they might use it for other games they own as well. And as augmented reality potentially becomes more widespread, Niantic Spatial will be able to say, we can provide the map of the world for you, and not just for games, for all kinds of things.
I'm a little shocked they didn't hang on to Pokemon Go as the flagship thing and just keeping Niantic instead, just because it seems like that's the big moneymaker. But maybe I don't know.
Maybe it's not as much anymore. Right?
That's the thing, is they have had to do layoffs. And what they identified, and I think wisely, is they are a tech company, not a games company. Right. So giving Pokemon Go, which is successful, it has huge usership, to someone who knows games better will increase the success of Pokemon Go, while they will keep doing what they're good at, what they're best at, let's put it that way, because there's a lot of good people working there on Pokemon Go. They're now Scopely employees, or they will be. They will keep working on the tech stack, which they know they can monetize, that they believe more in their chops as a leadership in doing that, and letting a game company like Scopely, which is very successful in other arenas, handle Pokemon Go.
I guess the question I had around this when I first started hearing about it, now that we know it's gone through, with an industry rife with layoffs recently in the last couple of years, especially recently, is you kind of alluded to some of these people moving over. Do we know if they're doing any kind of wipeouts of positions or layoffs of any kind?
I mean, they are moving the entire teams. So there is not a, like, we're laying people off as we move, but also usually you wait until after the transaction to lay people off. So I'm not going to say Scopely won't lay anybody off. Anytime there's an acquisition, You usually find redundancies. That's why in Europe they're called redundancies, because you're like, oh, we don't need two people doing the same job. And so there may be some people who are the only people doing the job under Niantic who won't be necessary under Scopely. So expect there to be some layoffs in the Pokemon Go, the former Niantic game area. I don't know that they will be intense because Niantic had already done layoffs in this division. So I feel like it's pretty trim. If I had to guess, it would be like, yeah, they might lay off a few people, but you won't see big numbers. That's my hope.
I'm going to guess. So Ibit, a while back, you had this idea for a Marvel game, right? Where you find Spider-Man villains, take pictures of them, or however the heck.
Yeah, like it's basically J. Jonah Jameson sends you on an AR quest to take pictures. Get me pictures of Spider-Man or any superhero.
So now I actually think this makes, not that that's 100% happening, but there is an increased percentage chance that that could happen because now that technology is licensable from Niantic to whoever wants to license it and use it for their project.
A lot easier for it to happen now. Sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of,
and Scopely's going to have first crack at this stuff because they have a stake in Niantic Spatial. And they have this relationship from acquiring Pokemon Go. They have in-house expertise on implementing these maps. So look for Scopely's stuff, either existing or new stuff, to also incorporate that as well, I think.
Very nice. Watch for, and then if you have a bottle of vinegar, there's a little Scopely at the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a Scobel. It's a Scobel. Scobie, sorry. Scobel units.
Robert Scoble.
at the bottom of every vinegar bottle.
Scobie at the bottle of your vinegar.
There's a little Robert Scoble in all of us, really. Well, this is great.
Once.
Did he really?
Really?
Did you recover entirely from that experience?
Oh, yeah. It was at South by Southwest. It was rather busy. He and Wolf Blitzer are probably the two most famous people to step on my foot.
Dang.
Wow. What's the total quantity that we're looking at?
Like quantity of foot?
Of famous people who have stepped on my foot?
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what kind of, okay. I want to know what kind of numbers we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I feel like there was a third, but I don't remember who it was. So obviously not that famous.
As professional podcasters, all three of us have been doing this for nigh on 20 years, 50 years, jeez, 20 years of our life or so. I'm going to say a thing that's vague. We've all had our worst experience in podcasting, probably, that we could point to and say, oh, this was a bad day or whatever. One of the worst days of my podcasting life happened with Robert Scoble there. And it wasn't his fault. It had nothing to do with him. So I'm not besmirching Robert Scoble.
He just happened to be on the
thing. He was on the thing that I was on. We were on a thing together, and it was the worst thing I ever had happen to me on the air. It was terrible.
So anyway, it may have been the worst thing to happen to him too.
Yeah, it might have been. Who knows? You know how he took it out? He stepped on your foot on purpose just to get rid of all that anger.
Peter Mayhew almost.
I don't think he realized.
Yeah, he probably did.
Peter Mayhew almost stepped on Nicole and I at Dragon Con because we were sitting on the floor.
Because he's a big guy. Yeah,
sure. He's a big guy. We were sitting on the floor and he walked through and really came close to stepping on Nicole and I.
Look, when you guys
did you go? Whoa.
No, we just sat back and let the Wookiee win.
Yeah. When you guys accidentally brush up against Mitt Romney's crotch, let me know. All right, because that was the worst thing.
Oh, really?
The worst butt brush with fame I've ever had.
I once shook the governor of Illinois' sandwich.
Oh, hold on. We've buried the headline today. Forget about Niantic. What happened with the sandwich? How do you shake a person's sandwich?
I think I was 6 or 7 years old at the Bond County Fair, and Governor Jim Thompson was in the parade, and my dad said, "Go shake his hand." So I just, being 7 years old, I just ran up and grabbed his hand and shook it. I didn't ask, and he was holding a sandwich in his hand, and my parents were making fun of me after that, like, you shook his sandwich, not his hand.
I love that. You shook the governor's sandwich. Oh, my hell. Well, that's great to know. Also, what else is great to know? Today at 2 p.m., we'll be meeting up again and having a great time with a live DTNS Live. Fantastic show. I get to be on Wednesdays. Always fun. Tom, anything else going on there or anywhere that you want to mention?
I don't know. Ibit, should we tell them?
Do it!
Yeah, let's tell them. They might have already heard about this, but let's tell them anyway.
Some of you have already heard about this because we talked about it in the Discords, both DTNS and TMS Discords. But we're launching daily music headlines in a couple of weeks, so in 2 weeks. And the idea is to do what we do for daily tech headlines, but for music. And no better person to host that than Mr. Brian Ibbett.
Oh, stop
so
you.
I couldn't find anyone else to host it but Brian Ibbett.
Asked around, is like it took forever. It's like, oh, let's just give it to him.
No, man. We were actually I was having a conversation on a text message thread about something else, and Ibbett's like, well, if you ever want to launch a music show, let me know. And I'm like, that's a genius idea. Let's do that. He and Hammond put it together over the weekend. We have a demo episode up now with demo art, by the way. So that art will change, but you can find it at dailymusicheadlines.com. And the idea is 5 minutes a day. You can just, grab what's going on in the music world. If you're someone who's like, I want to keep track of the things outside my bubble and just kind of know what's going on. That's the idea.
Yep. Right. Check it out. It's going to be rad. I think it's a great idea. And don't let the temporary AI art fool you. There's some really cool art coming.
It fooled a couple people, I'll say that.
Yeah, some people are worried about it.
I don't know how I feel about the use of AI in that logo.
Yeah, we're just like, no. Read the part where Brian said temporary. Just read that part.
Exactly.
And the other thing is like, so it's very clearly AI. Like everyone could recognize that. It didn't say it was AI on it.
Right.
It's like
all you have to do is say, give me a podcast, give me some album art for a podcast. Oh, well, it must have a microphone in the center.
Yeah.
And weird colors.
Yeah, that's the rule. Well, Tom, it's great to having you on as always. Ace Detect on all the socials, everybody. So go look for him there. Always a good conversation. Tom Merritt, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you too. Bye.
Thanks,
now. I guess I'll see him at 1:30. Oh, I hung up on everybody but me. Hold on. Okay, let's re-enter the chat.
Oh, now Scott's back. Okay, good.
The hell did I do there? Oh, I hung up. You know what it is? Discord.
Tom and I talked for a second. We caught up on things.
Discord changed their UI. And so
I know now there's like 7 buttons up there.
This thing right here was not there before. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, but
what's the blaring megaphone?
I think.
Oh, you've even got because you're hosting this thing, so that's why you've got extra dots.
It says if I click it. Oh, I can play a sound in here. Okay, I'll play a sound. Let's see what happens. That's a duck.
Do you have Rutro Raggy? I have Rutro Raggy. Oh, these are.
So basically, audio. They're like audio. Yeah, that's weird. Where did these come from?
Bet you didn't see this. Bet you didn't see this
Stop.
coming.
All right.
Bet you didn't see this coming.
Oh my gosh, it won't end. Okay.
So they're tied to servers. So like I've actually got this one from Aliacta Est. Oh, that's the same one.
Yeah, it's the one I got.
Don't click that multiple times. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, they do it. Right. They do it like specialized server emotes. They're specialized sounds, I guess. Sounds like the joke. Oh, that's very
it does. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
No, I already did that one. They need a stop button. They don't give you a stop button.
I know. They need to like press once to start it, press once to stop it, or second to stop it.
Sorry. Clicked that by accident. Anyway, thanks, Discord.
You make me cry about it.
And, oh man, that sounded like Fletcher faking a cry. That's weird.
It does, yes.
And then the little game, there's that little game tab now. I guess you can play little games with people. So it's
is that that's that one right there? Oh yeah,
like
Crunker Royale. What? I don't want to. I don't know what that is, but maybe I don't want.
What do you think the quiz one is? We could try that sometime.
Quiz Planet. It's new, whatever it is.
Yeah, it seems okay, I guess.
Maybe you look at that. Let's look at that after we close out the show. After we take our selfie, we'll just
you know what? We'll try it. We'll give it a shot and see what it is. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, let's add more people to the call. Let's get Randy in. Let's get Nicole in.
Let's see if Randy yells at me for moving all of our Film Sack movies around to slip in Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter. Got to do it while it's hot, Brian. You got to strike that
Exactly. I want to watch it before everybody tells me about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, what do you recommend?
That music means it's time for us to recommend stuff we've seen on streaming services. We do it with a couple of our pals. Let's welcome to the program Nicole Spag. Hello. You're muted. Mark! Oh, hi.
There we go.
You're back now. We hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're very quiet, but I can turn you up on my side. Let's see. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Crap.
I don't think she can hear us. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Well, we can all hear each other now.
Am I low? Is my level? Are my levels low?
You're good. You're good
Much
enough.
better now. Scott fixed it, so you're fine.
Yeah, I cranked you up. You're all turned up now.
Crank me up, baby.
Yeah,
to
crank
11.
me up, baby. Actually, I have you cranked to 127. That's just how cool you are.
Can I just say how happy I am to be here the day after an infusion and not feel like total dog crap?
Yeah.
We're glad about that, too.
I think that's great. Nobody wants to feel like total dog crap, no matter the circumstances, but I'm glad it worked. That's great.
Yeah.
Put a little sugar in there this time or whatever they did for you.
I got a new nurse, and he's a complete nerd, and we watched D&D, and it was awesome.
That's great.
That's great.
Oh, my gosh.
And we also watched my Recommental, so...
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Watching a Recommental with your nurse. That's amazing. All right. Well,
look for that in the title.
Yeah. More on that soon. Also with us today, Randy Jordan. Hello, Randy.
Good morning stream. Before I say anything else, I insist that you all wish a happy birthday to Samantha Jane.
Samantha Jane.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It is March the 12th.
Yeah.
Very important day.
Yeah.
Yay!
Happy birthday, SJ.
Yeah.
Facebook told me, and I try to always when I'm add something, because I'm like, I can't just do what Facebook tells me. I have to put more in it. So I saw that.
It's also the 5th anniversary of her birthday, happening the day before everybody locked themselves indoors.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's one of those weird things. I'm so glad that everybody locked themselves inside the day after her birthday 5 years ago, because it just means that we're, we have this memory of her birthday being the last true great, going out for dinner and this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. Okay. I remember that too. We had an earthquake the night of that, so I think that would be tomorrow night. We had an earthquake and it freaked us the hell out. I thought the world. Wow. I was like, really? A pandemic, then an earthquake? Please don't tell me all the Old Testament shit was real, because we're screwed.
It wasn't just people bashing pans together on their patios.
No, it was not.
A thing where we would howl at
10 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
bang pans together. Yeah,
because that's when the nurses and the doctors got off, and everybody would go outside and howl.
Yeah,
because if there's something that nurses and doctors love, it's howling.
It was the weirdest damn thing. God, it was so weird.
It was weird. But we didn't know what else to do. Nobody knew what to do. We were just all trying to figure it out. Still trying to, understand what the hell we were doing then. All right, well, let's get to it. We got Brian clips to start with, or clip, I should say. Brian, let's set this up. That's right. Give the people what they want.
And Nicole, really quick, you remember when Peter Mayhew nearly stepped on us at Dragon Con?
What?
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, maybe I remember this. Maybe it was just me. We were sitting on the floor at Dragon Con. Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca, walking through to get to artist signature. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. My epilepsy has gotten rid of a lot of my memories, apparently.
That's one that's easy to block out. Oh, maybe it was.
I've spent the last 10 minutes thinking about it, and I think the worst ever for me was when Kurt Schilling knocked me down at BlizzCon, because he was wearing a freaking like a hard garter.
Yeah,
like he had some kind of internal surgery or something.
I remember this,
and he was wearing this like really hard armored garter belt around his middle.
Yeah,
and it was like a suit of armor under his clothes.
Yeah,
and he knocked me down and it hurt bad. Like that guy.
I almost got knocked over by righteous John Goodman.
John Goodman, Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
John Goodman. Yeah,
I was in Dulles Airport, and he was on a mission, and I looked up and I was like, oh shit, and I moved, and I was like, oh shit, that's John Goodman. That almost took me out.
You should have said, sorry about that, Big Dan.
Weird.
Something up, Big Dan, you should have said, and then walked away the other way.
But it was when that was like Roseanne. I mean, it was like early 2000s.
Pre-Ozempic, John Goodman.
Yeah.
Very thin now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the conversation.
It's all good.
No. I was my fault. I derailed thinking I would just get a one-word answer about Peter Mayhew. But
I don't remember. Did it really happen?
Yes, it really.
Honestly, you could tell me anything And I would be like, if you say so.
Nicole, do you remember that? You remember that Nerdtacular where you and I blew up a toilet with some C4? Do you remember that?
I totally remember that.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that at all either.
I thought I did that after the latte that I had. Anyway, let's get to my pick. You're going to hear a president meeting his Secret Service agent, head of Secret Service, for the first time.
Yes.
A first timer. All right. I'm down with this. I'm in the wrong place for your file. Sorry, everybody. Here it is right here. Here you go.
Well, have a seat. I assume you know why you're here?
I have a sense, sir.
Can I get you water, soda, anything?
I'm fine, sir.
Well, I'm gonna have a drink. Little hair of the dog. Don't worry, this is not an everyday thing. We had quite a night last night.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah. The other guy literally had the IQ of a golden doodle. An incumbent president barely beats a golden doodle. I wouldn't say that's exactly my one shining moment. All right. Cards on the table. I beat a golden doodle, so it looks like I got the gig for another 4 years until I get to retire somewhere beautiful and lie on a pool float the rest of my days. Now, keep in mind, I'll be an ex-president in just my early 50s. So I'm gonna find the biggest mansion I can. I'm gonna fill it with the best booze and the best art available, and I'm gonna spend 4 to 5 decades on that pool float. Unless, of course, somebody shoots me first. I'm looking for someone to make sure I don't get shot, so I can make it to that pool float. You follow?
I follow.
Jesus Christ, this is like the worst first date I've ever had. Come on, ask me a question, will you?
Sounds like Cyclops to me.
Oh
that is Cyclops. That's James Marsden and Sterling K. Brown. Don't let James Marsden use your hotel room toilet. Sterling K. Brown plays Xavier Collins, the lead Secret Service agent protecting the president, and James Marsden is there as President Cal Bradford in a show called Paradise.
Nice.
That's all I can tell you about this show.
Yep,
Nicole, go ahead. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, I was just noting that last year someone recommended Unfrosted. 2 years ago, you recommended Jury Duty. 3 years ago, it was the last season of Westworld. What is up with James Marsden getting everything he does?
Yeah.
Having a moment.
Is Recommental worthy because he's so damn good. I mean, he's just great.
I love him, dude. He'll even show, he's in those Sonic movies. He's good in those. He's great in everything.
He's actually really good in those Sonic movies. I know. Yeah. It's totally true.
I don't know what we're comparing against, but okay.
You don't you're not a fan of the James Marsden? Tell us more.
He's okay. He's okay.
All right.
He's okay.
Give me a scale. Who's better than okay versus James Marsden?
Oh, she's gonna list like 48 people.
Just give me.
I'm gonna. It's just he's like the guy that probably gets asked about 10 down from the list of other actors.
Oh, I get it. He gets these roles because all of these better guys turn it down.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we need to look at IMDb. Here's the list of people who were previously considered for the role before James Marsden.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Does this go back to his performance
I like
in
him.
Enchanted?
I'm not saying I didn't like him.
I will say he was a pretty disappointing Cyclops, but Cyclops was always a little bit of a milquetoast anyway, so having James Marsden kind of play.
Plus it just they second tiered that character in that first movie.
They really
he was in Hop. Yeah. Like he does these weird, like the movies are fine, but do you know what I'm talking about? Hop?
No.
Don't
know what Hop is.
It's an Easter Bunny movie.
Yeah.
And there's like an AI Easter Bunny or CGI Easter Bunny, and he's like, it's like Sonic but with a bunny.
Oh, I've never heard of Hop. Okay. So, hey, get that on a list, somebody. Write down the Hop.
That's your Easter movie.
I just moved Craven down the list one, and we're gonna.
I want to talk about Paradise because
that's a good idea.
I almost demanded to co-recommendal it with you. Started watching it the day it premiered, and I think you can spoiler-free compare it to other TV series. Don't you?
There's one in particular that I feel like if I compare it to...
don't say that. I know what you're saying.
Yes,
but like
a little
just
four-letter
like
word TV series that I could compare it to. I'm not going to do
like
that
the
one.
general vibe of shows like Severance or Fallout or what have you, like the modern like drama, like almost it's not a fantasy drama, but it does have elements of.
Here's the way I was thinking about giving it a very spoiler free, because obviously, because we're being so cagey about talking about it, obviously, if it was clear cut as Sterling K. Brown is a Secret Service agent hired to protect the president, if it was just that, then I would have a lot more to talk about because of that. But because I have to stop there, that should give you an indication that is not just what this is about.
If I compare it to, I'm trying to get the vibe down, like Three Body Problem, that kind of vibe.
That's a good comparison. Yes.
I'm intrigued. I didn't know any of this. I thought it was just like a thriller.
And that's a good way to go into it, because that's all Tina and I thought it was going into it. And so don't read up anything about it. Don't look at Wikipedia. Don't look at reviews. Don't look at anything like that.
Stay off of social media.
Well, it's already wrapped, so now it feels pretty safe to social media. But currently, this thing is 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, or at least what it's saying here on I can look at the Wikipedia article because I finished the first season.
No problem.
But here's the great thing. Watch the first episode and you will 100% know whether or not you want to continue watching this show. And I will say that 99% of the people who watch the first episode will immediately binge the second, third, fourth, etc.
I'm all.
It really isn't.
I want to see this pretty bad.
Isn't one that needs 3 episodes for you to understand? Like they almost the first half of the first episode is the layout for the rest of the series.
Sure, reviewing well, man. People love this.
And can we talk about Julianne Nicholson? Where has she been all our lives?
Yeah, no kidding. So you know her as Paradise again is the name of the show. Julianne Nicholson, you know from Mare of Easttown. She's Kate Winslet's friend.
She's in The Outside. I love her, dude. She's great.
She is really good, and again, crazy, compelling. Boardwalk Empire. I, Tanya. She's just so freaking good.
Yeah, she's great. Love her.
And she's really good in this too. She
has a complex character who has a lot for you to discover about her, and the way she plays it, like she's also trying to keep the other people around her from discovering things about her, and she's just really good at this mystery.
Yeah, she's awesome, dude. I think this is her in the new thing, isn't it? Is this her with the short hair in the new?
Yes, it is. That is what she looks like in this.
She's awesome. Yeah, love her. All right, cool. Dude, you have me totally intrigued. Anything else you can say without a spoil on there?
Not really. Yeah. I mean, basically, it's once somebody was really. Here's what I can tell you about it. In every episode, you'll hear a song, the original version of a song, and then that episode will close with a really cool cover of that song.
And the orchestrated notes all throughout the episode.
Yes,
they'll have these theme and variations of music all throughout the episode.
For example,
right. This is what you're talking.
I played on Friday. The cover of Poison's "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" by Poison.
By Poison? Is it Poison? Poison put it out.
The Poison song called "Every Rose Has Its Thorn."
Yeah.
Covered by Wendy Wang, but originally by Poison.
For those who don't know why we're doing that, Brian clarified the air as the song started.
During the song.
We insert the song later for quality, and then nobody heard Brian correct himself, so they all have been writing in saying, Brian, that wasn't Guns N' Roses. And he knows.
God, I know.
He knows.
Exactly.
And
I know, please.
The songs are super on the nose.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
This whole series starts with the Phil Collins song "Another Day in Paradise," and the name of the series is Paradise, and you're just like, "Come on!" But it works.
Right. It totally works. Exactly. That it's like, oh, I see. Okay, I see. So there you go. It's on Hulu. It's 8 episodes, and be prepared to forego sleep, forego meals, so that you can watch all 8 episodes one right after another. Again, Hulu or Disney Plus if you've got the package or whatever it is, but it's called Paradise.
Nice. I'm all in on this. I've heard you've been teasing it for,
yes,
a week or more.
Basically, after I watched the first episode, I said, unless they really screw this up, this is going to be a Recommental that I'm going to be talking about for a
and
long time.
There were moments when I was like, this could play wrong. This could go terribly.
Yeah.
I could stop watching if they don't do this right. And they always nailed it.
All right. Well, looks awesome. Nicole, the mic is yours. What are we watching this week with you? What do we got?
All right. So I sent 2 clips. The first one's a little bit too graphic, even though whatever. Play some of the second clip.
All right.
Just because I want to laugh. And I'll just say I enjoyed this movie immensely. It is chaotic as hell. But I really feel what it was like the very, very first time this happened.
All right, here we go. Here's your clip.
Okay, quiet, please. Work stops now. We're holding for a sound check. Who wants to do the sound check?
Garrett, don't you know a song?
Yeah. Get me a shotgun and kill all the whiters I see. I'm gonna get me a shotgun and kill all the whiters I see. Get me a shotgun and kill all the whiters I see. Get me a shotgun and kill all the whiters I see.
That's great.
Lamorne Morris.
From New Girl. That's your Winston from New Girl.
All right.
He was in Fargo last
Randy
season.
corrected me. This is just called Saturday Night, not Saturday Night Live. I was like, Saturday Night Live. It was 2 a.m. when I wrote this. But this is... So the debut of Saturday Night Live was October 11, 1975. I had to look it up. I was born in 76. So, and this was groundbreaking. I had no idea what it took to get this show on the air. And basically what it was, the only reason it got on the air and was approved is because they were trying to get Johnny Carson, to run reruns. And they wanted to pick a show that they thought would fail. And this is basically kind of the dramatization of Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Gilda Radner, John Belushi. I didn't realize Billy Crystal. Like you get some really, really cool insight into how the show came about, how the show was made. Lorne Michaels, I have such an appreciation for him now. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Holy crap. So yeah, when you watch this, it is chaotic because live TV is chaotic. And the fact that they attempted this, and there's a whole scene with the character of Milton Berle.
Played by J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I saw that
the
scene.
guy that they got to play Chevy Chase. Was so good as Chevy Chase.
That's your Riddler from the old Gotham TV series.
Oh, really?
Is the guy who plays Chevy Chase. Yeah.
So this is on Netflix, by the way. I didn't mention where it was streaming. But you heard Garrett, and he was the only black cast member. And you see a lot of this internal dialogue going. He's like, "Why the hell am I here? Like, I studied at Juilliard, and like this misfit of people kind of trying to come together, and when it all like happens, the magic that Saturday Night Live." And even though I was born in 76, I've been watching Saturday Night Live I used to stay up. I don't know, I was probably in like grade school, and I would stay up. And I'd laugh at jokes I had no idea what they were.
Right. Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite ones that kind of creeped me out was when Jaws was popular and was Candygram.
Oh yeah, land shark.
Oh yeah.
Land shark. And so and of course, you know, the infamous Julia Child, where Dan Aykroyd cuts his hand.
Yeah.
Like, all of these are very memorable scenes for me, and I've had such a strong love of Saturday Night Live for such a long time, and I have been through almost every single cast reset, and every single time, this is the worst cast Saturday Night Live has ever had. This is the worst. I'm like, what are you talking? I remember them saying that when Mike Myers was in the cast and Chris Farley, and granted, there was a season that the cast was really, really bad. And Eddie Murphy.
There were a couple.
Eddie Murphy pretty much carried that season.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it was the Ebersol years are not looked upon fondly by fans. The dude who plays Lorne is that guy who played Steven Spielberg sorta in The Fabelmans.
That's right.
I haven't seen The Fabelmans. So
he's really good. Like, it is a great cast. Hammond made me watch this zombie apocalypse musical, high school musical, called Anna versus the Apocalypse, Anna and the Apocalypse, which is really good. Got her a Scottish BAFTA. Ella Hunt she's in the lead of this apocalypse movie, but she's also Gilda Radner in this. She is so freaking good as well. Like, she's.
I was initially
is so good.
I was initially annoyed that the actors in this movie didn't look exactly like the people that they were playing, but you get over it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Totally. Belushi, his hair was a little too poofy for me.
I was actually going to say,
what a star!
I was like, it was. He had two. You know, if you look at a side by side comparison of the original cast, Belushi, his hair is. I mean, it's curly, but it's not.
There's some.
I was going to say,
actors in this thing. I feel like they get spot on. I think.
He looks a lot like Belushi.
Right.
You gotta.
He does.
Admit it,
he totally does.
Look at his face.
And I think Corey Michael Smith
as Chevy
Chase. Boy, they picked the right guy for that. Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's a good impersonation. I thought really Kim Matula's Jane Curtin was a pretty good impersonation.
Yeah.
But
I really enjoyed it a lot.
The overall story of this movie is that Lorne Michaels was set up to fail.
Yes.
And no one expected him to be the vanguard of Canadian TV invading the United States. Like, it was just like somehow this bet that he would fail turned into Martin Short and Phil Hartman and Mike Myers and Norm Macdonald, and you just go on and on and on about how he he was the leading edge of this amazing thing that happened on TV.
Oh, he's a legend, dude. Legend.
Well, and it also made me realize that his wife was a huge part of this. And they dance around that because they're like, how should she be credited, right? And she didn't, like, they were married, but they're not married.
Or
her
like maiden name or whatever. Yeah,
you know, she was the writer, and it just, like, the two of them as a team brought this unusual, weird thing. Oh, and don't forget, Andy Kaufman is in this too, and he.
Who plays Kaufman in this? Is it
let's see, Nicholas Braun and Jim Henson. So Nicholas Braun from your Greg from Succession.
Oh, that's how I know this guy's face.
Plays both Andy Kaufman and Jim Henson, because I think the original actor. Yeah, the original actor who they cast for him couldn't do it, and so Nicholas Braun said, "I can do Henson as well," or I can't remember which one he got hired for.
Yeah, he's like the nerdy page guy in Succession. At the beginning, anyway, right? I don't want to give anything away, but in the beginning, he was like this nerdy tag-along guy.
He's basically Tom's proxy for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Red Fraggle says, I didn't like the way they portrayed Henson. I think.
Well, I think if anybody could complain about it, I mean, she's probably got the most experience with the life of Jim Henson, and yeah.
But there was a lot of animosity. They did not want Henson there. Like
right.
But Henson had a vision of the Muppets. This is before the Muppet Show.
Exactly.
So this was his way of trying to figure out how his Muppets could integrate into an adult viewed show. And I'm sure he learned a ton of lessons through this interaction of Saturday Night Live, but they were not welcomed. And I honestly think he did great as Jim Henson because he's such a visionary man, and he's so soft-spoken and kind, and he's like, I really don't like what everyone's doing to the Muppets.
Could you guys please ask your staff not to put my Muppets in compromising positions in my dressing room, please?
So good. It's
got excited and your mic went crazy. You all right?
Sorry, I moved my laptop and it went.
Oh,
sorry.
That'll happen.
But no, that's it's
William Dafoe is William Dafoe is the one that sets him up.
He's in, it's more than a quick roll, Wes. It's like he's in this a lot.
Yeah.
And it feels like an Aaron Sorkin film on speed. Like, the walk and talk style of Aaron Sorkin's West Wing, stuff like that. It feels like this movie is 80% that. And done really well, not in a bad way, but it is a lot of, you're going from this room, here's what's going on. We're going into this room now, separate B story, but it's still important. Going into this other room, here's the other story going on.
Finn Wolfhard is an NBC page. It's nice to see that rat boy in there.
Oh yeah,
That's
from
cool.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's there. I watched it in 2 parts just because I watched it during I watched
it with your nurse.
I watched it with my nurse. So I watched the first part of it with a different nurse, and then I was like, "Hey, you're a nerd. Do you mind if I watch this movie?" Because we got talking about D&D and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." So he had already seen it, and so I watched the second half of it last night. But yeah, it is.
Can't ask for a better director either, because you got a director who's the son of Ivan Reitman, who was around all this growing up. All of these actors are part of his life, from all the stuff his dad did, from his early associations with Ramis and Murray and everybody else, and Dan Aykroyd in particular, and then being able to go back as the son of Ivan Reitman and direct these people to be these people that were basically like your comedy uncles and aunts must have been what a cool. I haven't heard in any interviews or anything, but I'll bet he's got stuff to say about this experience. It's probably pretty great.
There's so many egos in that show. Even to this day, there are so many egos, big personalities, big ideas, and probably people stealing bits from other people, and the writers, and how all of that started. And then you got someone like Billy Crystal was originally supposed to be in the show, and he walked because he wanted 4 minutes more. And Michael or Lorne Michaels says, "I can't give it to you," and it was done.
Then he came back later and got his 4 minutes, I guess.
I guess so.
Yep.
But it's just, for me, as a huge fan of Saturday Night Live, it was just really cool to kind of watch that behind the scene. I mean, I know it's a dramatization, but when that clip you played, "Kill all the whitey as I see," all of the white executives are in the room as he's singing this. It is the funniest damn thing.
Hey, Nicole, did you watch the 50th anniversary stuff?
I've been holding off on it.
Oh, wow.
Because I want to be able, I wanted to feel, number one, I wanted to feel better. And I wanted to be able to watch it all in one setting. And that's really hard for me to do a lot of times.
Gotcha.
So,
There's so much stuff, you will not be able to watch it all in one sitting.
Right.
Like a 4-episode documentary.
Oh my
At
God.
the very least, it's 2 long sittings, because you got to watch the music special.
The concert and the music special separately.
Well, here's the thing. Every 2 weeks, I have a 12-hour infusion. So I could probably get all of it done in 12 hours.
I didn't realize it was 12 hours long.
Yeah,
Jeez, no
12 hours from 8 to 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Tita's chemo sessions were like 5 or 6 hours. And
yeah. But I get to be
typical.
home, so that's nice.
Oh, the nurse is sitting there with you, chilling with you.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
I
and I have a massage chair, and he's like, this is the best job I've ever had.
Yep.
Well, I want
Does he
you to
help
know
you out
that-
and go, Mark, bring Nicole an iced tea?
Yeah.
No. He's not there to be my he's just there to make sure I'm okay and do the meds while my mom usually comes and sits with me and takes care of the kids if the kids are there.
Well, if you ever do get him to yell at Mark, please record it and we'll play it here on the show.
Yeah, please. Exactly.
I think it would be really funny for you to watch these during your infusions and like convince the people helping you that all you ever look at is Saturday Night Live stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now that they have an SNL channel on Amazon Live too.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about that is they cut out a ton. Like a ton.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like the Peacock stuff they
all
do?
over the place.
Most of the music,
like
it's a mess.
clips.
But it's good. It's good because you get a clip here and there that's great. But it's just there's no rhyme or reason to the order of it. It's really weird. But it's not
I
bad.
just want you to know that the 50th anniversary show, the 3-hour-long show, is just an episode of SNL starring everybody they could get.
Oh, I've seen the clips.
And it was written by like legendary SNL writers like John Mulaney and Tina Fey. And yes, they got Garrett Morris, 88-year-old Garrett Morris. They got him.
Awesome.
There's a shot where what's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. The singer.
Paul Simon gives up his seat.
Yeah, gave up his seat for Garrett Morris. Kind of helped him move because he's not in great shape these days. That was really nice, I thought.
That's awesome. I need to watch it. So I hate to drop off, but I have some stuff I need to take care of.
Well, no worries.
Peter Mayhew's here and he wants to have a talk.
Yeah, he wants to step on you. We'll have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time with more
Love
from
you guys.
Nicole.
All
You too.
right.
See you soon. All right. It's us, guys. It's 3 men now.
Yeah.
We're guys.
We're dudes. And Randy, as the dude who's up, tell us about what you brought this week.
So, as you know, I've been trying to watch comfort food TV as much as possible. This is not exactly that, although it does have a wholesomeness that I have a hard time explaining, and I'm hoping one of you can help me explain the wholesomeness of this TV series. But it's a TV series based on a book series that's based on an author's idea of what would happen if we combined Sherlock Holmes and every G.I. Joe character. And the answer is here, and it's that main character talking to a detective.
All right, well, here we go.
You said the victim was big, so most likely his feet were sticking out, and that's how he got spotted. Tall people never have enough room for their feet.
Interesting theory. But you still match the description of someone seen walking the highway earlier
to eat it because I was arrested for murder.
Okay.
I can hear the muscles in this thing.
Right?
Being flexed left and right.
Yeah. He has the most muscular tongue, right?
He does.
That is Alan Ritchson, who you've probably never heard of if you've never seen this show. Like, it really is his big thing.
Yeah.
That is Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher in Reacher. I gave you the very beginning of the first season because if you haven't seen Reacher, you got to start with the beginning. The third season is about halfway out at this point. It is so good. It is so entertaining. And like I say, it really is Sherlock Holmes combined with every G.I. Joe. That is exactly who he is. If you didn't like the Sherlock Holmes movies from 10 years ago, oh boy, this is maybe not for you. But if you just like procedurals where you get to see Beefcake, and I mean Beefcake, almost every episode has a shower shot of this guy, and he's like butt naked.
He's a good-looking fella, I'll say.
Mark my words, really this dude will be in a DCU or MCU movie as a regular character at some point coming up. If it doesn't happen, then the universe is broken and we need to switch timelines.
Then somebody's not doing their job.
You can't be that big, that imposing naturally. I mean, obviously it takes work to be as big as he is, but you can't be that large and not be cast in some superhero format. It's happening.
Another comparative I want to do is if you didn't like the Tom Cruise Reacher movie, good, because Tom Cruise was terrible and the movie was bad.
Those were both bad
I think
movies.
there was a second one.
There was. They were both bad. Terrible.
It was like, how could you cast the wrong person this much? Like it's as far away from the character from the books as you could possibly be.
Yeah.
The TV series is a lot closer to the books. It takes some liberties with the character, but it's pretty good about being aligned with the books. And this first season, by the way, is based on the first book. Each season is kind of jumping around like Justified. Which is unfortunate because you're going to fall in love with some characters and then that's it. Second season, all new characters around him, except one. He's got a contact who is a know-it-all, and her character name is Nagley. She's played by Maria Sten, and it's such a good character that they're giving her own series. There's going to be a
little spin out.
A Negley series is in development.
That's
quick,
cool.
Quick correction, actually. Well, not correction because he's not in the current James Gunn DCU, but Alan Ritchson played Hawk to Minka Kelly's Dove in the Titans.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
he'll play a proper popular one, is what I'm getting
exactly.
at. Yeah.
Exactly. He'll play one that more people will get to see.
Yeah, Hawk and Dove. I mean, from all accounts, I heard it was actually good. It was ahead
really
of its
good.
time
Titan
or something.
series was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's bound for things like. He'd be an amazing Ultimate Universe Batman Bruce
For
Wayne.
sure.
He would be
I
great
think
as just about anything, actually. Just
I
put
think
him in
the
it.
success of Reacher has caused some people to want to develop him for Fast and Furious movies.
He's in Fast X, it says.
Right. He was
also in Smallville as Aquaman.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
He's got DC all over him. Like,
yeah, it's time for him to graduate to something cooler. Supergirl.
Right,
I guess he was
sure.
hawking
Yeah.
Supergirl as well, but yeah.
Or come on over to the Marvel side, Alan Richardson. We've got some plum rolls for you.
Yeah, either way, wherever you go, I'll follow you and your giant freaking chest wrapped in spandex.
No kidding.
One of the things I love the most about Reacher is that he's practically impenetrable, but there are lots of episodes where he gets in a fight where he's getting hit in the face with a crowbar, and the people making the show are like, continuity, schmontinuity. We're going to show him bleeding from the face. The very next shot of him, though, he's all fine. He's good.
Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, this series has. So I haven't watched it. My wife has. My wife loves this series, and I've just been slow to get in there. But Bruce McGill, Robert Patrick. I love. Let me tell you something about old Robert Patrick's my favorite Robert Patrick. Like, as much as he was all smooth and cool as a T-1000, the older that guy gets, the cooler he gets. I'll watch him in anything at this stage of his career. But anyway, yeah, this is great. I want to see it.
I was introduced to it by the birthday girl, and I am very, very glad that she did, because it's a really fun thing to watch with your partner, Scott. So you should do that.
I will. She
partner's already been watching it.
Well, she's seen everything but this new season, so she'd probably watch it again if I just sat down and did it. I think we're going to watch Brian's Recommental next, but then I think we'll get into Reacher. Yeah. And Reacher's not quite done for the season, right? They still got a few episodes to go?
Reacher still has a few
episodes. 6 episodes so far, and there will be more. They confirmed that there's a 4th season of Reacher already in production. And again, the Nagley, I wish that character had a better name, but she's just so interesting. She's very mysterious. She's got a lot of normal powers herself. And that's the thing, like the Reacher series is about normal powers, like Batman without gadgets and armor and stuff.
Right, just smart, strong, acrobatic badasses.
And very clever, coming up with almost MacGyver levels of cleverness at times. And always one step ahead of everybody. Reacher always knows what's going to happen and what's going to happen after that.
Does he ever use his gum for anything? Does he ever take that out and stick something on something and make it work like a MacGyver gum?
I don't think so. But he does ambush people a lot, and that's a lot of fun because you see people, they're just walking into his trap.
Yeah,
and he's getting ready, putting on his his army clothes and getting the right weapon for the job and this kind of thing. So it's a fun series.
All right, before we move on to my thing, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which he was in with Henry Cavill last year. I heard good things. It was a Guy Ritchie joint, I believe.
Yes.
I heard good things about that. Was he good in that, or do you feel like he's typecast as this giant hunk of meat, or like kind of how was that?
He's definitely a giant hunk of meat in everything. Like you can't not be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of meat in that cast for that movie.
A lot of meat in that cast. Yes.
I heard it was good. People liked it. Did you see it, Brian? I can't remember if you saw this.
Actually, I'm looking at it. No, you know what? I'm confusing this with something else that came out last year. That was Guy Ritchie but must not have been Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, I kind of want to see this still. Oh, it's got that Babs Oldbablugga from Dune, the Dune 1 and 2 guy, the doctor in the Star Trek series.
It's a Gonzalez from Three Body Problem, and this looks. Yeah, I need to see this too.
Yeah,
we do. I would compare Alan Ritchson's typecasting to that of Mike Coulter. Mike Coulter can't be subtle.
Your Luke Cage guy, yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing.
Nice. All right, well, let's get to mine. I picked an oldie, guys, and one that I think is on our Film Sack list at some point. We just haven't ever done it. When we do, I'm happily going to watch it again. It's not an issue for me because I love this movie. I probably watch it once every few years, and I'll play a clip, and then we'll talk about it.
I talked to your former CO. He tells me he tried to adopt you. As you no doubt heard, my XO has appendicitis. He's the best I ever had. I need a good man to fill his spot. Your name was at the top of the list.
Well, that's good to know, sir.
It was a short list. Your interest, Mr. Hunter, what do you like to do? Do you paint, play ball, play an instrument, ride motorcycles? What?
Ride horses.
Horses? What's the best horse you ever rode?
Arabian, sir.
An Arabian. Oh, that's a powerful animal.
Hell yeah, it is.
I love how I can tell what you're going to recommend by looking at Blue Sky the day before.
I know. I like to talk about stuff before I actually do it, I guess. I watched Crimson Tide, as if it wasn't obvious. This is a movie currently streaming on Prime Video, and was happy to find it there. And I was in the mood for a little Gene Hackman, given the recent passing, and was thinking about roles I really appreciated him in, ones that were maybe he's not even like the spotlight. And in this one is one of those cases where, Denzel's the spotlight sort of, but Gene Hackman steals every scene he's in, and he's fan-freaking-tastic. So imagine an actor who can be in the same room as Denzel Washington and so utterly dominate that you forget Denzel was in the scene for a minute. That seems crazy because that's what Denzel does in most things he's in. So anyway, I'm a huge fan of this movie. Came out in 1995. Watched it, like I said, a million times, it feels like. The one thing in this watching that threw me, that I completely forgot about, are the prominent secondary actors. Everyone always talks about Viggo Mortensen showing up, and it's true. He's in it. It's a very early role for him. But I always forget that James Gandolfini is all over this thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow. I've totally forgotten that.
Yeah, all this is, pre-Sopranos and stuff, obviously by a lot. Ricky Schroeder's in it. Weird little role for him. The one I was shocked yesterday, just because I just got off season 2 of Silo, was Steve Zahn is in this thing, and he's very young in it. Very different role for him, too. But anyway.
And you know who I notice?
Who's that?
Cast.
Who's
Come
that?
on, you can guess.
Matt Craven.
Who's the tiny role that Randy would notice?
George Drunza or Matt Craven. I'm giving it to one of those two. Who would it be?
No, there's a couple of shots of Scott Grimes in this movie.
Oh, Scott Grimes is in this.
and Ryan Felipe. Ryan Felipe is in this movie.
Felipe Lippi.
Wow.
Flippity.
Wow.
It's an amazing cast of people you didn't know then. And this was a good year for me and being a Hackman fan. It was also the same year that Quick and the Dead came out, which I love that movie too. And he eats up every scene he's in that. We've seen that for Film Sack. But Crimson Tide is essentially a big war thriller, Cold War business about, escalation between us and the Soviets. Things are getting real bad. And to the point that this sub is sent out to basically be the yes or no to escalation. They're either going to launch a nuke in response to something or they're not. And there's a lack of communication, a breakdown of communications between commanders, subs, and all this other stuff. And it then becomes sort of this chess game between Hackman, who is certain that he needs to nuke the planet with this sub, which he could do, he has the power to do it, with or without presidential approval or whoever has to say go. And Denzel's not so sure. And it's complicated and it's difficult. And it's also extremely well scored by one Hans Zimmer before things really took off for him as well. I love this movie. It deserves to be seen again and again. There are things about it that are quaint now in retrospect in terms of like some of the ways they look at terrorism and the way the Soviets are portrayed. And for some reason, the smoothing guy from Seinfeld, who George works for a while, the industrial smoothing boss.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He plays a Russian.
You have the mole on his shoulder?
Yeah, that guy. He plays a Russian psycho in this who's broken off from the government, has codes to the nukes, and it's this whole thing. That's a weird thing to see just because, we know who that guy is. Was that right around the time he was making Seinfeld? In fact, he would have been doing some industrial smoothing on the side. But anyway, it's fantastic. Always fun to watch. Riveting. I can't get enough of it. I'm a huge fan. So go check it out. Oh, and Tony Scott directed it. So of course it's good. Available now, streaming on Prime Video. All 4 of the things we talked about today will be up on quicktms.li. So if you were concerned you would forget all this shit, it's all up there now. So go check it out. It's
all there. Click, 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 click.
Randy, what are we watching for Film Sack this weekend? I know it's not Craven, but that'll be soon.
Give me some more Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, what are we doing?
We got our Michelle Trachtenberg last week, and some of us regretted it. And then we're going to watch Under Suspicion.
Yeah, we didn't regret her, by the way. We regretted the movie.
No. We regretted just about everything else about Inspector Gadget, but
sure,
not Michelle Trachtenberg.
Under Suspicion,
Under
Clint Eastwood deal?
1991.
No,
not
2000.
Oh.
2000. Under Suspicion is 2000. Oh gosh, are there multiples? Oh no,
I hate those.
I'm sorry, you're right. It's 2000.
Got to be really clear.
Is there another one?
Yeah.
Let's
take a look. 1992, there was an Under Suspicion with Liam Neeson and Laura San Giacomo. So don't watch that one.
There's also a 94 one called Under Suspicion with Karen Sillis and Philip Kazanoff. Don't watch that one.
Right. Even though it sounds like something we'd watch because it's got Liam Neeson, don't watch the...
Oh, and don't watch the 2021 film called Under Suspicion. Don't watch that one either.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these.
Anyway,
yeah.
2000, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and
Thomas Jane. Remember when Thomas Jane was in movies all the time?
I like Thomas Jane. I'm a fan.
Yeah. I do too.
I thought this was, I keep thinking it's a Clint Eastwood movie. It's not. Stephen Hopkins. I had no idea. I thought this was Clint Eastwood for some reason.
Well, I hope it feels like a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah. Let's hope so, right?
Because Stephen Hopkins directed some stinkers. And this is probably the highest rated. I haven't looked it up, but it feels like Hopkins among Hopkins' highest rated works. But this poor guy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Lost in Space, Predator 2, or A Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah, Predator 2. Geez, but I again, we're here for the Hackman, and I think it's gonna be real good.
Yep, that'll be great. Trachtenberg straight into Hackman. That's the plan, everybody. So check that out.
And hope you don't mind me just slipping a little Craven into our list there, Randy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad for it.
We've moved Craven Woman.
Tell me that after you watch it. Glad for it.
It's perfect for us. It's perfect for the show.
Perfect for the show.
Yeah, and you've seen it.
The best way to watch this thing is when we can make fun of it.
And you've already seen it, right, Brian? You saw this thing.
No.
Oh, you haven't. You've been waiting.
One of the first Marvel movies to come out, Marvel even tangential related movies that I said, I'm not even going to bother going to the theater for this one. There's just no point.
I think I'm thinking of Madam Web. You did see that, right?
I did see that one in theaters opening night, and just for the laughs, which there were plenty of.
Well, I'm excited.
We got a very strong recommendation to sack a fish called Wanda, and I'm excited about that. That's in a few weeks if it hangs out on streaming for us.
Yeah.
We got it's amazing upcoming time. So
yeah,
talk to you on Saturday.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
I moved Catwoman.
Thank you for moving Catwoman. We'll see you next time. Bye now. All right, we did it. We pulled that off.
Yeah. Welcome to one of our 4-hour shows, people. This is almost core.
Yep. Welcome to Wednesdays. That's how it works around here. Unless one of these two are out, it's always a long one. It's just the way it works.
It is. Exactly. Yes.
Hey, one quick note from Dr. Calhoun. Well, he has a thought I'd like to play. And this is another Estes Park thing, so enjoy this right here.
Hello. So the caller that said there were no moose in Estes Park, only elk, could technically be right because what we call moose in England, they call elk. And what we call elk are native to North America, and they got their name from the European creature. And then we're like, oh, we can't have two totally unrelated things called elk. So we started calling the real elk moose. Also, regarding Kentucky Fried Chicken, my understanding is Colonel Sanders, who was born in Indiana, not even Kentucky, created the method of cooking it, pressure cooking chicken, and was selling that to store restaurants. And the restaurant in Utah coined the name Kentucky Fried Chicken. So technically, I guess the name came from Utah. Enjoy the show, though.
Yeah, so it's interesting because there's more to it. Harlan Sanders was the goal then, and this was true for a lot of places. If you had a cool recipe of something, you would keep it to yourself, and then you would make stuff and sell it to restaurants. You go to like the pie place up the street and say, do you want to put this fried chicken on your menu? We have this great thing, and we'll provide this much per week or whatever. That was like a thing to do back then. And so Utah got the first franchise, but it wasn't technically a franchise until Utah opened it and coined the name. So it deserves credit for being kind of a big deal. Back to the elk thing, though.
Yeah.
So you're right either way. There's elk and moose. There's moose and elk.
Exactly. Exactly. That actually makes me more right, because then the things that I call elk are moose somewhere else.
Yep. That's right.
So
yeah,
there you go.
That makes perfect sense. Dr. Calhoun throwing that PhD around like a boss. I love it.
That's right. Exactly.
Thanks, man. If you guys want to send in your calls, your questions, your thoughts, even your texts, they can go there as well. Go to voicecast.app/TMS, and you can all do that right now. That's going to do it for the show. frogpants.com/TMS for all your needs, including that last link I gave you. It's all there, so go check it out. Don't forget to get your tickets. If you haven't grabbed them yet for TMS Vegas, go to tms.vegas and grab them today. We are now getting to the point where they're looking low. So if you are coming and you've been holding off for some reason, grab them now, because we want to see you. We want to see you. All right, get over there.
We want to see you. We want to see you.
We want to see you. Brian, let's. I want to see a song. I want to hear a song. So can we play one here at the end?
Tom wrote in and said, hello, sweet potato and Boston cream. Great, couple great pies. Another pie day tomorrow. That's, well, this is a request. I have 2 requests for tomorrow, so this is the first of them. So pie day in 2 days, which means my wife and I are up to a decade of wedded bliss. It's been a rough year for her between the U.S. voting and a goblin covered in cheese dust, and both of her parents dying within 12 days of each other. Oof, that's rough.
Man.
I'm requesting Life's Railway to Heaven, a song that she connects with both of her parents. I leave it to the master to pick a great cover. I love you, Malia, and remember to keep moving forward. Signed, Tom.
Jeez, that's rough, man.
So wow, no kidding. So Tom, yeah, let's get this one out. Oh, and I guess he appended, my dog just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. All I can do is hope this year is getting front loaded and we're not ramping up into something worse. Jeez, Tom, I'm so sorry to hear about that too. Criminy. Let's get this song out. This is Johnny Cash covering a song by Charles Tillman. Charles Tillman was like a gospel singer and writer, and a lot of his songs actually got adapted into other forms of not just popular music, but other things. Life's Railway to Heaven from the Great Lost performance at the Paramount 2007. Here is Johnny Cash.
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. Frogpants.com.
Hey, officer, can you give me a hand over here? I think I found a drunk.